everybody and welcome to another workshop for Kilkenny Library, especially for the National Keep Well campaign. My name is Alan Nolan and I'm an illustrator and I'm a writer, and I write and I draw books for children, and I have tons of books. You can see them in the background here. I think I have about 18 books that I've written myself, and I've drawn books for other people. But one of the books that I really enjoyed doing was this one here. It's called Connor's Caveman. And it's all about a boy called Connor and a girl called Charlie. And Connor and Charlie, they find a caveman frozen in ice high up in the Wicklow Mountains. What happens is they're a member of a scout troop. They go scouting, hiking up the Wicklow Mountains. And I wrote this because I live in Wicklow. I live in County Wicklow in Bray. And I go up, walking up the Wicklow Mountains, not at the moment because it's so cold, but I go up there quite a lot, walking and so on around Loch Dan and Loch Tay and so on. And in this book, they go, Connor and Charlie, on a scout trip up to Loch Dan. They're camping up at Loch Dan. It's lashing rain the whole time. It's really misty. It's really foggy. And they go for a hike up the mountains and they get separated from the rest of their troop. And poor Charlie and Connor, they're wandering around, they're a bit lost, but they realise that they keep on walking downwards, they're bound to get to the bottom of the hill. But on their way down to the bottom of the hill, they fall into a cave. Like there's a hole that's hidden in the gorse, and they fall into a cave. And when they hit the bottom of the cave, it's pitch dark, and they turn on their flashlights, looking around, and all they can see is rock walls, apart from one wall that has a huge big sheet of glacier ice. And hidden inside the glacier ice, frozen into it, is a caveman called Og. So they break Og out of the ice, they defrost him, he's still alive, and you know what they do? They bring him into school to sort out all the bullies. So I really enjoyed writing this book because Og in the book, he's really dangerous looking. He's like 7 foot tall. He's arms like tree trunks. He's huge big hairy legs. He wears a big fur sort of coat like Caveman did. He carries a big spear. He looks really dangerous, but he's actually like a little puppy dog. He's so friendly and he's so lovely, and he wouldn't really hurt a fly. But everybody who sees him goes, "Ah, he's huge!" and they're running away. And there's these scientists who are trying to catch him and put him in a special museum for cavemen. They want him to be an exhibit in the museum. So, guys, I love drawing Og the Caveman, so that's what we're going to do. I am going to show you how to draw Og the Caveman. All you need for this is you need a pen or a pencil and you need some paper. So let's get drawing. Okay, so to draw this caveman Og, I'm going to start right in the middle of the sheet. So I'll draw here and you guys can draw along with me, all right? So we're going to start off with Og's most weirdest feature, and that is his unibrow. He has one big eyebrow. You know the way most people have 2 eyebrows? He just has one big hairy eyebrow right in the middle of his forehead. So right in the middle of our sheet here, I'm going to start off with a big shaggy eyebrow. So if you guys want to do this as well, I'm going to draw a huge big shaggy eyebrow that looks like that. There we are. You can put spare hairs coming off it. You can put little twists coming off it. It looks like a big shaggy caterpillar has crawled across his face and just said, here's a nice place to rest. A rest in the middle of this joker's head. So he's just sitting there like one big eyebrow. Cool. Okay, next thing we're going to do is we're going to draw his nose. So Og's nose is really easy to draw. It's just in the shape of a letter J. So if you can write letter J, you can draw his nose. So right in the middle of his forehead here, I'm going to do a little letter J. So, or a big one. I'm going to draw a big letter J around like that. And then I'll put a couple of little hairs coming off the end of it. Okay. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw this caveman's huge big smile. Because remember I was saying he's a really friendly caveman. He's like a big St. Bernard puppy. He's not dangerous at all, but he's really friendly. He's always smiling, so he has a huge big smile that goes from ear to ear. So I'm going to draw that smile. I'm going to start over here where his ear would be. I'm going to bring it down behind his nose because he's such a big nose, and up to the other side, all right? So I'll start here with a curve that comes down like this, a little bit behind his nose, and then up to the other side. Just make that a little bit thicker line so you can see it. Okay, I'd even put some creases on the end of that just so it looks more like a smile. Brilliant stuff. Excellent. Next thing I'm going to do in this caveman is I'm going to draw his huge big chin. Now the caveman has a huge big roundy chin, but this is your caveman. So when you're drawing him, you could draw him with more like a square superhero chin, but I'm going to draw him with a huge big roundy chin like this. So I'm going to do the same shape as his mouth, just down below it, all right? So I'll start here, go down and around and up to the other side. So I'll start here with a big chin that goes down, 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 round, 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 and up to the other side. Excellent. And then I'll put a little bit of whiskers on it, a little bit of stubble. Because remember, this poor caveman, he's been stuck on that ice for 8,000 years. He hasn't had a chance to shave or do any personal grooming. He's looking a bit messy, he's looking a bit stubbly. So I'm going to draw some whiskers on him, okay? So if you want to draw some whiskers on him, just like this, so he kind of looks like a cactus or something like that. There we are, a little bit whiskery. There we go, brilliant stuff. Excellent. So we have his eyebrow, we have his nose, we have his big smile, we have his whiskery chin. The next thing we're going to do is his hair. Now this caveman, he has long hair. He looks a bit like a hippie or I was drawing this one day and one little girl put up her hand and said, "Excuse me." And I said, "Yeah, excuse me, Alan, why are we drawing a hobo?" And he kind of does look like a hobo because he's long hair, like a hippie, long straight hair. So to draw that long straight hair, what we're going to do is I'm going to draw them a little bit like strands of spaghetti coming down either side of his face like this. So you can imagine that your head is up here and the strands of spaghetti are kind of coming down like somebody dumped a load of spaghetti on your head. You know, when you take it out of the pot and it's all waggly. Well, not when it's really hot, don't put it on your head then. But if it's a little bit cool, you can put it on your head. It'll look a bit like his hair. So we're going to draw it like strands of spaghetti. So right from the middle of his forehead here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a strand of spaghetti with a line coming around his head and down, 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 down like that. Okay, and right beside it, do exactly the same thing. Another one coming around his head, down, 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 down like that. Okay, and just for good measure, we'll do one more. Another line that comes around his head like this and down, down, down like that. Brilliant. And then we do the same on the other side of him. We'll start here again, nearly the same place. Another curve that comes around his head and down, down, down like that. Okay. And then two more on top of it. So another one here, round his head, down, down, down. And another one round his head and down, 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 down. Excellent. And then we'll put some creases on his forehead. Just here and here, because he is quite old. He's 8,000 years old at least. Cool, and we're nearly finished our caveman. All we need to do is, because we can't draw his whole body because he will be way up. In fact, if that was a real caveman, I would be down like this and he'd be way up like that because he is absolutely huge. But we will draw him with his shoulders. We just have room for his shoulders. And whenever I'm drawing somebody who's really tall, I always draw them with their shoulders kind of hunched like this. So they look like they're kind of ducking down to get into rooms because their head would bang off the top of the door frame. So to draw those big shoulders, I'm going to start right up here at the height of his eyebrow with a big shaggy line. Oh, and it has to be shaggy because cavemen wear kind of fur coats. Probably wolf fur or something like that. He wears a grey coat, so it's definitely kind of wolf fur. So it'll be really high up and a big shaggy line coming down. So either side of his head, I'm going to draw a shaggy line just coming down like this. So shaggy, 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 just till it nearly comes off the page. And then the same over the other side, another shaggy line, shaggy, 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 shaggy. And then we'll just put a few little lines in just to show a little bit of texture on his coat. A few little lines like that, just going down. There could be curly lines if you want to as well. And that is your caveman. Well done, everybody. I'd love to see what you're doing. And if you're colouring them in, this caveman, he wears a grey coat and he's got a kind of, not exactly a pale face, but he has been stuck in ice for years. But when you're doing your caveman, you can put a different colour coat on him. You could put a background with the sunshine and the sun coming down and defrosting him out of his huge big block of ice. You can do whatever you like. Well done, everybody. So now you know how to draw Og the Caveman from Connor's Caveman. Wouldn't it be fun if we did a little moving Og the Caveman where he can open his mouth? And you can do this out of one sheet of A4 paper. So if you have one sheet of A4 paper and a pencil, I will show you how to make a kinetic caveman. So to make our kinetic caveman, you need an A4 piece of paper, and we're going to fold it 2 times. We're going to fold it like this. So you can see it's a little bit short there. And then we will turn it over like this and fold this way. So now we have a piece of paper that looks like this. And when we flatten it down, it looks like this. And what we're going to do is we're going to redraw our caveman. So we're going to do it the same way. We're going to draw a big eyebrow like this, and a big nose like this, and a big smile. But when we do the smile, what we're going to do is we're just going to bring it down to the end of this piece of paper, or at the end of the fold. So I'm going to draw it like this, and then draw some teeth going across like this. Okay, and then we will do our big chin. So the big chin across the fold there, big chin coming up the other side, and our hair. Now remember, our hair started in the middle, came around like this, and went all the way down, and from the top around, and all the way down, and third time around the top, around, and all the way down. Then we do the same on this side. So more hair going around the top of the head and all the way down. Another one going around and all the way down. Then a last one coming around and all the way down. Then we put some stubble on his chin. So a few little whiskers just there. A couple little lines there because he's 8,000 years old. And we have a picture of our caveman. But check this out. When you open up the caveman, we have a big gap. So do you know what we're going to put in here? We're going to put the caveman's big open mouth. That's what we're going to do. So I'm going to turn this upside down so I can see what I'm doing. But what I'm going to do first of all is I'm going to draw, join up the face line. So the face down to his chin on this side. And over here, the face down to his chin on this side. And then join up the hair. So 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a tiny little mark there, just so I can see where the end of the mouth should be. And then I'm going to draw a huge big mouth coming down from this tooth. Right down, round, round, like a big U shape, coming around, round, round like that, and back up to there. And then in here, I'm going to put some more teeth. So you've got teeth on the bottom as well as the top. A few teeth going across, maybe even a tongue. So there's his tongue there, and maybe even just his throat at the back there. So we colour that one in black if you like. I'll just colour it in very lightly. So this is our caveman. So you can see him here. He looks normal, but this is where the kinetic bit comes in. He opens up his mouth and he's like, ah, how's it going, Yarry? So there we are, closed and open. And that is your kinetic caveman. Have fun, everybody. So remember to colour in your kinetic caveman as colourfully as you colour in Og. Well done, everybody. This has been a workshop for Kilkenny Libraries, especially for the National Keep Well campaign. See you all next time.